everybody, welcome back live at Drew's house, Joppa Afternoon Drive. Hope things are going well. We are flying through this month of March. My goodness, what St. Patrick's Day is here this weekend. What?
St. Patrick's Day this weekend. I can't believe it.
How are you, man?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Good to see you. I think we've successfully executed our 1 month. I said we were going to try to have you on the show once a month. Yeah. One, because I love all the exciting work you all do at the Firehouse, and including upcoming acts, which we'll talk about, Firehouse Center for the Arts, but also because we just like you here and you're a fun guest. You're like my Robin Williams to David Letterman. Didn't he always used to say he was his favorite?
Thank you. I
just
appreciate that.
It's a comfort zone. Are you still sleeping here? Is that the guest room?
Every once in a while, whenever I need to.
Oh man, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Good. Actually, that's a funny question. Have you ever had like a night where it's just been so overworked that you actually had to sleep at the Firehouse Center for the Arts?
No. Okay. Thankfully. There definitely been like late nights. Like when just coming out of COVID, we had a hard time finding anybody to like build sets and stuff. So we would have rehearsal, and then I would build the set like overnight until like 4 or 5 a.m. and then drive home.
Oh man.
To get like the kids off to school and all that. So
not much sleep time there.
No, I mean thankfully. 2 years out, it's not as bad anymore. So I'm not regularly building sets in the middle of the night, but that's been nice.
Okay, well that's good to know. Well, interesting. Yeah, I know that can be. You hear stories like that sometimes. But anyway, I'm glad to hear you're mostly sleeping at home and not on the lovely seated cushions at the Firehouse.
Yeah, no, I mean the chairs are very comfortable. Very comfortable.
You could fall asleep in those things like no time.
But not during a show.
Not during a show. I was flying recently. I actually had a really good flying experience, but it always amazes me the people that like just have issues on airplanes. Yeah. You know? It's like there's always like those people, and it's like I don't know how bad the situation was, but we had like somebody kicked the seat in front of them because they're upset about the reclining back. And I don't know. I just watch these things play out from a distance, and I'm like, what has gotten into you?
Right. I mean, all things that could be finished probably be solved with like a quick conversation. Yeah. And if they're not going to do it, that's what they have those little bells for. Yeah. And you ring and talk to the flight attendant, and they usually take care of it.
Is that what those are for?
Yeah.
Yeah. I get that. How do you feel about that? Because like the guy was tall. I kind of, I get it. Like he probably lost some leg space. But it's not, you're not in first class, first of all.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think kicking the seat is ever the solution.
Oh, you're going to take that answer out. Very good. Yeah, you're right. I mean, you've taken the immediate high road.
Well, I mean, like again, I don't have all the facts. Sure, Drew. Yeah. So maybe he had asked him a couple times, and the guy was just being a jerk about it.
As a true journalist here, I'd like to know more. Yes. Well said. I just think people lose themselves on airplanes, and I don't understand it. But
yeah, I mean, it's the same thing as like people watching in that way is really great. Yes. So like from that standpoint, I think it would be fantastic to watch it. But I think if it was ever me, I'd either probably suck it up because like what's the point?
We're good. It's a flight to Florida, people.
Yeah, exactly.
We're not going across the world
Seriously, it's 2.5 hours. Come three if you hit some traffic. But
going to your old stomping grounds here this week and go to New York City.
Good old New York City, MSG.
MSG there for the old Big East tourney. Going to take in some games tonight.
That's awesome. You know, in all the time I lived in New York, I never actually went to Madison Square Garden.
Never been in the Garden.
The only time I went was going to Penn Station, which obviously is underneath the Garden. But yeah, I never saw a show there, never saw a game there. I never did anything.
Was it just too big for the local arts theater, man?
Well, no. It's just I was working at Bubblegum Shrimp Company, Drew. I wasn't, rolling in cash.
Yeah. Well, I mean...
And I was working most nights, so...
Yeah. Okay. Never wanted to do the Big East tourney. Those early days, you can get very cheap tickets.
Yeah, well, I mean, at the same time, like... football is more my thing. Has always been. Like, I do enjoy basketball.
You never saw a Billy Joel show at the old MSG?
No, so I think he started those maybe after I left.
Oh, really?
Because he's been doing it before. This is like his 10th year or something like that.
What did he hit, 200? Was it 200?
I think 200, so maybe more than that. So maybe not after I left, but either way.
He finally released a new song.
I know.
I like Billy Joel.
I do too.
It did always, it's always been a little strange to me, though. I mean, granted, he had so many hits, but that he has toured for 25 years without new music.
He hasn't needed to.
I know.
After River of Dreams.
He didn't need to. Yeah, I guess that's a fair point that he didn't need to.
Yeah, and people a lot of times, we talk about this and we'll go, you know what, we can get right into it.
Sure.
We talk about this every single time, and we talk about this, about like Dave shows. Yeah. Like when Dave puts out a new album, I usually hate the show he puts on.
Sure.
Because I know, whatever. I want to hear the songs from 25
I
years
think I have
ago.
found with you, though, the albums grow on you over time.
They do. Or there are at least songs within them that grow on me. But, I mean, nothing in my mind is ever going to top Before These Crowded Streets. Ever.
Yeah.
And I know that's true. I know that's true for a lot of people. But, then even moving on to like Everyday.
Different band now, too.
Different band now, too, without
Boyd Tinsley.
Boyd and without Leroy.
Of course, Leroy, yeah.
Right. And then Buddy left. Buddy Strong's still there.
Still there, yeah.
Who left? The other keyboard player.
Oh, yeah, Butch.
Butch Taylor.
Yeah. It's funny as I think about them getting ready for a tour this time around. They're kind of hitting the usual stops as usual.
Yep.
But
Two nights in Guildford.
2 nights in Guildford. Yep. You're gonna go to a Guildford show?
I think I am.
Oh, look at you!
I know.
What? So you actually have? You're a little bit older than me. You got some of those glory years that I didn't get. I was alive, but I wasn't.
I don't even know.
I'm 22. Didn't you know that? But
We've never talked about this.
I mean, because my high school years were like 05. I'm the class of 05.
Okay, so I'm 2 years older. Not much older.
You're 2 years older than me?
Yeah, I was 03.
But I feel like you saw some shows, or you were at least, because I didn't pick up the Dave music until probably around 04, 05.
Gotcha.
So a lot of that stuff was already out before me. I had to play a little bit of catch up.
Yep.
Whereas I feel like you were living it, right?
Yeah, I mean, I probably really didn't get into Dave until I was in college. So when you say 05, you're talking college 05 or high school 05?
High school 05.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're my sister's age. My sister's 87.
Okay. And was she a fan?
No, she's a Fish fan.
Oh.
She went way down, way into into it. Like
those guys are great friends, Trey and Dave.
Yeah. I know. Yeah, Trey played on Dave's solo album.
Yeah. Just played with them in Mexico too.
Did he play with when he and Tim were down there?
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah, keyboards and guitar. He did
cool.
It was great.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But no, so my older sisters were more into Dave.
Okay.
And I wasn't as into Dave because I was listening to like a lot of stuff my parents would listen to.
Yeah.
So that was like Magic 106.7. We talked about that. I was
David Allen Boucher.
Yeah. Yep. Used to love that. Love that. And so like I didn't really start listening to Dave until probably 2000.
Okay.
So it was after those first three.
So
really
you had to
big
play
ones.
a little catch up too.
I did, but then when I got into Before the Crowded Streets, like it never stopped.
Yeah. Did you have an album before a show? You knew you were hooked before you saw a show?
Yeah. Because I think the first show I saw of his, I think was at the old Gillette.
Oh wow!
Not the old Foxborough. So I want to say it was like 2000.
Yeah. See, I never was able to see shows there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was really he was touring with Santana. So it was that year that Santana did that album with all like the pop stars singing, like with the Rob Thomas of the world. Yeah, like the Rob Thomas and the Everlast, and Dave did a song with him too.
I don't think I knew that.
Yeah, it's the I forget the name of it. It's like I'll have to think about it, but yeah, Dave does a song on that. I love it
when you drop knowledge
on that album.
Did Dave open for Santana?
No, Santana opened for Dave.
I was gonna say because Dave was a monster that he still is. Yeah. But that was the peak.
No, Santana opened for Dave.
That's gonna be kind of weird if you're Dave, right? I'm sorry, Carlos Santana is going to be my opening act.
I don't know. I mean, I think at that point that's where Santana was. But the fact that he was he was playing stadiums and doing that was
probably more of a split bill than an opening act.
I guess in that regard.
However you want to slice it.
However you want to do it. Yeah. Well, it's like post college. I saw. Or maybe mid-college, either way. When we were senior year, I saw like the Black Crowes open for Tom Petty. Yeah. Which was cool.
Yeah. Those split shows are actually kind of in right now. Have you noticed that? And you got even just for a handful of shows, not long tours, like Billy Joel's with Sting. He did a Stevie Nicks thing.
Right.
Like I guess it's just ways of.
Stained and Breaking Benjamin are doing one up in Guildford.
Of course, I always hear Stained and Breaking Benjamin after Sting and Stevie Nicks and Billy Joel.
Hey, you know what you do your thing. Well, it's even like when like the Postal Service was touring, but it's a split bill between the Postal Service and. The other one he's a part of, because the Postal Service is like a super group. It's it's Jenny Lewis and it's Death Cab. Death Cab. Ben, whatever his name is.
There you go. All right, good to know. quick. Any other music questions from the people? Would you like to call in? I think we turned the phones off.
When are you going to start doing that? When are you going to start having like?
Were you here at one time when we did? I joked about that, and the phone rang like
no
a minute after.
Was
the
it
phone
Sarah?
Never rings. I don't think it was Sarah. I remember trying to take the call. I was like curious because a phone call. They're off now. I think.
Yeah.
I thought they were off then too. But the phone rang, and I said, "Let's go to the phones."
Nice.
I handled it like a complete pro.
Of course, as you are.
You should have seen us before the show. Actually, John was. It's a little dry. It is a little dry.
Yeah.
Springtime dryness.
I think so. Maybe that. Like it's like the heat.
Yeah.
Starts coming out. You're like. Bleh.
Sun feels good on these days, though, as we get into spring. It is an exciting time of year. As I say, I'm doing the March Madness basketball stuff. It's that's one of the things for me. St. Patrick's Day, one of the things for me. Let's actually talk about that for a second, because you guys are busy at the Firehouse for St. Patrick's Day.
We are, and it's our first time really doing like St. Patrick's Day sort of programming.
That was a drum roll, by the way. I thought I'm not sure if it was effective for radio. But
we've historically had like a play or something going on right now, but this year we're kind of shifting up our calendar, and so it's we're just going to be on Friday night. We're doing there's only like 10 tickets left, so buy them if you haven't yet. We're doing like a traditional Irish session with the our cast of Once from 2 years ago.
Oh, very cool.
So we did that musical back in 2022, and so we brought the cast back together to do this. That's gonna be a lot of fun.
That's exciting. Whose idea was that?
It was something that we've talked about sort of globally for a year plus. So it was a nice group effort, and they've brought it up about different ways about trying to do like reunions and things like that. So it really worked out that we had this Friday available to make it work. So sorry,
I would think
to
it's
put my shoe back on.
Busy week right now currently.
Yeah. That's why I like to slide down. Sorry.
Once again, he's lost the shoe.
I know.
It's almost sandal season, so loose shoe sandal season.
Right.
That's the spring weather talk.
Yeah.
Let's take a look back for a second. Your favorite show here of the last few months at the Firehouse, because you guys have had a rockin' schedule.
Yeah, I mean, I can't. Honestly, I can't.
You have to pick one, unfortunately.
I can't.
But you have to.
But I can't.
Okay.
I mean, the Sexton show was really great. He did 2 shows in one night. Yes, Darling.
2 different shows, by the way.
Shows.
I thought that was pretty awesome. I knew he would do it, just knowing him, but
he's awesome.
Yeah,
and does that.
A rawness.
But then Yes, Darling, Ryan Montblanc and Haley Jane. That was, man.
Yeah.
What a show. What a show that was. I mean, we had some really good like nostalgia shows too. We had an Elvis tribute. We had a tribute to the 50s.
Yep.
With the gemstones. But those two.
I didn't go to this one. Did you guys have was there a James Taylor night too, or is that the?
Yeah. So that was in January. Sweet Baby James is his name.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, and he also does really great work. He's a really 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 nice guy.
Yeah, I was actually I think you guys might have posted a video of him, and I said, it's like kind of. I don't think he's trying to be James Taylor, although there's elements to that, I guess. But it's strikingly relaxing. I was like, it's
I know
kind of how I feel about James Taylor music. But
yeah. So I mean, there are definitely highlights, and I think that we've done a really good job of trying to hit different. The different demographics and the different genres, sort of music.
Yeah, if anybody looked at your schedule, you would see that you've made an effort to kind of be, I don't know, is eclectic the word? We just you're kind of doing a little bit for everybody, which is, I mean, I think in your mind you kind of always wanted to do that, but
definitely,
and that's where you kind of find yourself, which I think is pretty cool. Is it rewarding for you not only personally but for the place? I mean, there must be a good life about the place with all those different kind of acts coming through.
Yeah, I mean, there definitely is. Getting different people to come in and getting different people to to see the space, not only from an audience level but from the performer level as well, because it's so important for us to have the performers tell their agents and folks that they're having a good time there, because then they'll get other artists interested in coming to play.
Now you're gonna have to tell me how that works, because that is almost how this show survives. It is true. Right. Word of mouth.
Word of mouth is vitally important. Making sure that people have a good time, and again, creating the sort of different mix. So like we were talking about, you have the Irish session on Friday. Then on St. Patrick's Day itself, we're doing we have another Irish show. This group called Bailey's Mistake out of Maine, and they do, they call themselves a neo-Celtic folk. So I mean, it's going to be a bit more, rock, a rock style, and it's not going to be think like the Coors.
Oh, I like that.
Think like the Coors. It's not going to be it's not going to be Dropkick.
Yeah, but it's they're playing.
But it's not going to. But it's not going to be. It's not going to be the same.
They're playing like 12 shows in 3 nights.
Right. Exactly. Actually, they're playing 12 shows that one night. There's no one's going to remember that it started.
I like that. I in the right moment, I can do the Dropkick thing. I have nothing against the band. I think they seem like lovely guys, and they do a lot of good, and they play anything for live music. Yada yada yada. Never quite did it for me.
No, and I think you have to be in that right sort of right sort of mindset as you said.
Yeah.
I mean, punk Irish is a challenge.
Yeah. No, you're right.
It's a challenging sort of niche, but it's like everything goes through its waves. Like when you think 10 years ago, pop folk was all the rage.
Yeah.
With the Lumineers and oh gosh. And I can't, the band out of England that has the
Mumford.
Mumford and Sons. Yeah. That was all like the quick banjo and like even the Oh Hellos.
Yeah.
Like all that sort of that pop folk was really really all the rage. And you think about like the 90s grunge of the the early 90s. I mean, I think there was a time. And I think it's probably late 90s because I think that's like when the cores were like that harder version, or even the Cranberries. That harder version of Irish music. And I think Dropkicks tried to be like, okay, we're gonna be the punk Irish version as opposed to like the rock Irish version. And I mean
they made it work.
They did. Like I say, they definitely have made it work year over year. You can't go a day down in Boston without hearing Tessie.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, you're right. Yeah. Staple at Fenway Park too.
Yeah.
It's always good when you can become a staple at Fenway Park because once you're in, I have found out. Yes, I'm talking to you, Sweet Caroline. you are never out once you're in.
I know, right?
Yeah. Have we done that? We've done this conversation before, right, Sweet Caroline?
Well, I don't know.
I'm done with it.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
I can't anymore. Especially losing seasons. I can't be down 10-2 in the 8th inning and be Sweet Caroline. Whoa, no. Yeah. No more. Yeah. I'm done.
So what would you replace it with?
Doesn't have to be the same thing. There was a time after the death of Tom Petty, who you mentioned earlier, where they were doing I Don't Back Down in between one of the innings as a staple for a couple of weeks.
I do like that one.
And let me tell you, that caught on very well. And to give me Tom Petty over.
Won't back down.
No, I won't back down. One more verse.
You can stand me up at the gates of hell, and I won't back down.
I won't back down. You're welcome, everybody.
Maeve, cut that part.
She won't cut that part. She won't cut it. No.
Not the rest of it. Just when I sound like a dying cat, you can cut that part.
Actually, we were joking around in the old WBZ newsroom today. One of our young workers had never heard the Wonders song. That Thing You Do.
Oh my God!
I'd never seen the movie.
Jeez.
I mean,
were they born on under a bridge?
Well, he was born 12 years younger than me, so he's like mid-20s. Yeah, it's still on TV all the time, right?
Come on.
Maybe they don't watch TV. Maybe they stream the kids.
Yeah, but still, you can find it streaming.
Yeah, or hear the song. I mean, come on.
Seriously.
I tried to forget you, girl, but it's just so hard to do. Every time you do that thing you do. Yes, this is great.
Do you know who wrote that song?
Yes, passed away, right?
Yep.
Recently,
a couple years ago.
From
I'm gonna give you a hint.
Great bit. Weezer?
No,
damn it.
Give you a hint.
Yeah.
Stacy's mom has got it going on.
Thank you. His name again?
Adam something, I think.
Yeah. Tough last name too, right? It's like
Wolfram.
Oh man, keep talking.
It's probably not even Adam.
I feel bad.
It's probably not even going to be Adam at this point. He's going to be like, "You are very wrong. His name is actually Brian."
I'm going to look it up because I remember he deserved a lot of credit for that.
Yeah, I know, right?
That thing. What would you search? You would search that thing you do. Adam Schlesinger.
Schlesinger. Yes.
He was great, by the way. I didn't know that he wrote that song after seeing the movie a million times, and I'm not a huge Fountains of Wayne fan, although I grew up around a lot of it. It was kind of there.
That one song.
Yeah. But if you go back and listen to a lot of the stuff that he wrote, and he did some solo stuff too, and production work, he was great.
Yeah.
Not surprised he wrote that song.
Yeah. That is a great song. Liv Tyler.
Yeah, it's not the only good, great song on that soundtrack.
No, what's the other one?
I can't remember, but it's
okay. Good.
I thought that might be the follow-up.
But that's what we do here, as reporters.
Sure.
We have follow-up questions.
Challenge.
Oh yeah.
Challenge the host. Actually, we have a mutual friend, Alex Anthony, who's plays music around here.
Yep. Still gonna send you that email, Alex. I promise.
You've left him hanging on an email.
Well, he told you. He sent you a message. You're hanging out. They told him to email. Like,
don't forget, I emailed him. I told him. See, I told you. He's on it. You're a busy man.
I felt terrible saying that for months.
He'll be right on it. But that's not why I brought this up, though.
It's not you, it's me, Alex.
It definitely is you.
I know.
I brought this up because he wanted to switch seats with me, and he wanted to interview me one day.
Gotcha. How'd that go?
I didn't do it yet.
Okay.
That's the thing about your own show. You can say no.
Yeah, that's fair enough. That's fair enough.
I might do it. I might do it. It might be just to please. Well,
just to please it, yeah.
Just to please Alex.
Sorry. Yeah, right. Sure, all right, I got so many things coming up in March. I just gotta get these out of the way, and then we can go back to our usual conversation.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, I just gotta get them out of the way. So you already talked about the Irish things we have coming up.
Yes.
But then next week we have Hot Club of Cowtown. Coming. They're going to be here. So their 30th anniversary tour, which is really crazy.
Yeah.
When you think about them been making that sort of music for like 30 years, it's fun. You need a fiddle, they got a fiddle. You need a cello, they got a cello. It's a really cool. Nothing. It might actually be a bass. Anyways, it is a bass. I say these things, but it's an upright bass.
That guy driving right now listening is just like, it's a bass. It's a bass.
Idiot.
Yeah.
Moron.
Okay. How can I listen to this?
Yeah, right. But they're really great. They sold out last time they were here. They're well on their way to selling out this time, so grab those tickets. We are doing a family tea, a Firehouse family tea, on March 23rd. It's a lot of fun with like an Easter egg hunt, Easter bunny, Kristoff and Anna.
God, Easter.
I know, it's only 2 weeks away. Kristoff and Anna from Frozen are going to be there. We're going to do some face painting and have some fun stuff like that. And then they have like a really great string of concerts starting that Saturday night. We have Emily Scott Robinson, who has like a gorgeous soprano voice. Her story is very, very interesting. She moved out west to do something completely different, and then fell in love with songwriting and started writing music. Now is what she does, and she's brilliant. Andrea Von Kampen. Another brilliant singer-songwriter, is bringing her trio and has with an opening act, The Sea. Will be here on March 26th. And then we have Eric Hutchinson, sold out. Your Friend and Mine, Will Daly, on March 28th. And then Benoramo and Scenes, our very own Billy Joel tribute, will be here to close out the month on the
all off
28th
memory.
and 29th. Hey, it's all up here.
Look at you.
All up here. And then that Friday night, we have Friday, April 5th, we have comedy, and April 6th, we have Room Full of Blues. So we got a lot going on, man.
Suddenly we are in spring.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, we have something going on every single weekend, I think, through August.
Yeah.
It's nuts. It's absolutely crazy. It's great. It's great. I'm so happy that we're able to do it, and that folks are coming out wanting to see these shows. But it's like, it's nuts. I'm just about done booking music for the year.
Yeah.
Which is not, again, crazy. We're 3 months in, and we're getting there.
So you put your feet up for the next 7 months?
Pretty much. Pretty much. Now, at that point, it just kind of runs itself, right?
You're right. Nothing could go wrong.
No, not at all.
Will must have loved the place, because he wasn't here that long ago. And I also know he is not really, I know he's working on another project, and he's not doing too many shows right now. And he chose that to be one of the few venues he's going to play.
He did. Yeah, Michael and I have been working on trying to getting that show going. So I'm really happy to have him back. We actually just shared one of his videos of him playing with Eddie Vedder and Patti Smith.
How cool was that, right?
Last month. I mean, man.
He is so connected in that way.
I know.
He told the story about. Did I already tell the story to you?
I think so.
About what he just. Long story short, it was the baseball thing, the foundation they do.
Right.
And when Eddie Vedder shows up, it's the massive thing, and he wasn't supposed to be there, but he did surprise everybody. Did a Q&A, and somebody yelled, "Play this song," and like Will was the guy that knew the song.
That's awesome.
So he jumped on with Eddie, and Eddie never forgot it, and he was like, "This guy's great," and he is great.
He is.
That'll be fun. We enjoyed that night. When was that? When was the last time he was here?
It was April last year.
April last year?
April last year, yeah. So about a year ago.
About a year ago? Yeah, man. That was a great show. I'm curious what his new project is, too. He's good. Have you noticed he's good on the Instagram?
Yeah.
He tricks you in good ways.
Yeah.
It makes you think.
He does, yeah.
Kind of like us when we sing Bop.
Ah, yeah. Good old Bop. Still thinking of you, Hanson.
Yeah.
Still want you to come.
I wonder, are they touring?
They just got back, so they're not touring right now.
Of course, you have an answer to this.
Whatever. They get at the beginning of every year, they do. I want to say they go to like Jamaica for like a week or two
To play?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
It's like a fan experience.
Oh, cool.
So they go down there. So they do that at the beginning of the year, and then they take some time off, and then
Wow.
I'm sure I'll hear them touring at some point.
I want to be in Jamaica.
I know, right?
Yeah. I went there on a cruise. What's my only time there? And people were incredibly friendly.
Yeah. I've never been.
Yeah.
Further south I've been is Orlando.
Orlando, Florida.
Yeah, that's the one.
Where I heard you kick the seat in front of you.
No, I did not do that. That was not me.
That was okay.
That wasn't me.
On the plane.
That wasn't me. Nope.
The Shaggy defense.
That's right. Yeah, the last time I was on a plane was with my kids. We went down to Disney after Christmas of not 23 but 22. Man.
Yeah.
Flying with kids is fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I sense sarcasm.
No, I mean they actually were like pretty good, but like
Yeah.
just a lot of like I gotta go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
I gotta do this. It's what happens.
Do you just lie? When you're on a plane, you can't.
Yeah, right. No, seriously. I really wish. How high are we? What happens if this happens? Nothing, man.
That's such a simple but great answer. The door would never blow up. Woo.
Okay. All right, Boeing.
All right.
Good thing we were on an Airbus, so we didn't have
Gotcha.
to worry about that. But God, yeah. I mean, I swear to God, I don't know if my oldest will ever get on a plane again anytime soon because. You know, those things you find on the internet these days. So
it's I think we have talked about this where we're both not huge fans of flying in general. Like don't live to love it,
No.
But we went out to Key West for a little break a couple weeks ago, I guess it is now, and it was funny. We had other friends on another plane, and the Key West airport. I've never been to Key West. It's small, and I've never had that experience where the plane in front of us. Was heavy and it had just rained, and the airport is so small, the runways, that the plane being too heavy could not land on the wet runway, so they had to divert to Fort Lauderdale.
Oh my gosh!
And and our flight was right behind them. It was like 20 minutes. Supposed to land 20 minutes after. Yeah. And they got diverted, and I'm looking like, are we gonna get diverted? And I guess that was the deal. Is our plane was lighter.
Nice.
And the runway it was deemed safe.
That's so interesting.
It is,
That's so interesting.
And I have many other questions.
I know, right?
Was it more the rain or the wind? I'm just curious.
Right.
I'm that guy. Can you just go to Key West, sir? Please enjoy your stay.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That's interesting.
I know.
It is. It's interesting the things that need to be taken into account.
Right.
Like when you think about stuff like that. Like, how far away is Fort Lauderdale from Key West?
A flight. They flew back.
They had to fly back. So they had to wait for the runway to dry.
I guess, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And then I'm like, it's the Keys. Like it kind of rains and stops.
Yeah.
So like,
it's Florida.
Circle around a few times, and I guess that becomes the pilot's decision. Unless it's not the pilot's decision.
We don't have enough fuel to do that.
Yes. I also don't want to be in the sky anymore.
Yeah, right.
I'm gonna land the plane.
Yeah.
But I don't exactly know. I think it ends up being the pilot's decision, but I'm sure if the ground tells you to come down, you got to do it.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Actually, I don't want to do that.
Yeah. You've never been to Key West?
No.
You would fit in well there.
What does that mean?
Music everywhere. You'd like that.
I do
that. What does that mean?
Yeah, you never know. You never know what that means. A lot of Poindexters there, pal. It would work really well for you.
A lot of fishermen. You'd fit in well on the docks there.
Yeah.
Bring in. Actually, there were a lot of fishermen.
Well, I mean, that does make sense.
Yeah, I think you pretty much. It's less golf, more fishing at Key West.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I guess Jimmy Buffett was the real deal there. He was like out among the people.
I believe that.
Yeah.
Poor Jimmy. R.I.P.
You know what though? I mean, talk about doing it right, huh?
Seriously. I mean, the man never believed that he had the best voice. He knew that he wasn't a good singer.
Yeah.
He was like, I don't care. I'm gonna write these ridiculous songs. People are gonna love them.
So I always used to think they were all ridiculous. The more I've gone back, and I guess maybe it's a post-death thing too, and I tried to give him a little more time. Like Pirate looks at 40.
Looks at 40.
That's a beautiful song.
It is. So I say that like I say ridiculous.
He knows
songs,
what he's doing. That was his.
Yeah, he does. I mean, like
Boat Drinks.
Yeah, Boat Drinks. That's a great one. Margaritaville, obviously the classic. The whole Fruitcakes album.
Sure. Yeah.
It's just like
time and a place, right? Like Dropkicks. If you're on the boat in the middle of the lake, this is a good fit.
Yeah, but to his credit, like as you were just saying, like his songs were all. They all had had meaning.
Yeah.
They were all like
Come One Day.
well thought. Oh, that is a gorgeous song.
Right?
Absolutely beautiful song.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that one.
Yeah.
But then, then you have, Cheeseburger in Paradise.
Yeah.
So
is he writing that just going, oh, is this going to work?
Yeah, right. he's probably having one. He's like, I'm in Mexico. I'm in Paradise. I'm eating a cheeseburger. Yeah. All right. I like my own lettuce and tomato.
Look, a shark. Fins.
I know. But again, this is one of those things. Everybody fins up. Yeah. Fins left. Fins right. And it's just like, the whole, it's a lifestyle.
It is.
And that's the thing. Like that. And that's the beauty of arts and culture. That's the beauty of music.
Yeah.
In that way, is that it really can be a lifestyle.
Yeah.
It can be something that people come back to. It can be something that people use, for lack of a better term, as like that escape.
Yeah.
People would go to, they'd go to the Buffett concerts in like their parrot head costumes.
Yeah.
Like that sort of thing. It's like the same thing even when you think of like My Chemical Romance. I mean, they did the whole Black Parade thing, and that became such a movement. And people would go up, would show up dressed in like those band uniforms.
Yeah.
So, like it's one of the, like it's the thing that can tie us all together and brings us all together, and it literally is for everybody.
And I think music more than maybe even some other arts, like because I think like Jimmy Buffett, when that act that you saw on stage, you just knew that was like him,
right?
He was just bringing his life to the stage, and,
right?
And I think at least for me, I can connect with the musicians a lot that way. Like sometimes I don't know if you feel this way, but I've heard stories like in the comedy world of these guys who are like out there and everybody's laughing and they got the place going, and you would not want to cross paths with them at all.
Yeah.
Like they're the most serious guys, and like comedians can be kind of tortured, right?
Right.
Not all of the, very general speaking, but there are some examples of that. And of course musicians can too, but it's just he's one of those guys that felt very like what you saw on stage is what you get in real life. And that's kind of what I learned in Key West, is everybody who had met him down there, there's that guy at the bar who you just know has met everybody who comes through. When'd you first come here? 47 years ago. And I was,
haven't left this bar stool since.
I'm telling you, man, I've never seen anything like it.
Yeah.
Like there's people there that, I had a flight out 2 weeks after that, and Keys disease, they call it. Yeah. Oh, it's Keys disease. And that is, I take it when you never leave, you never leave.
You never leave. I got barnacles on my feet because.
Oh man, John Mellencamp was in town this week. Played Worcester the other night.
Yeah.
And interesting. I was just thinking, but it kind of combines the persona on stage and a New York thing, which we talked about earlier. He was talking about how he came from Indiana, went to New York. He was here as a cover band guy. He was a singer. Mm-hmm. He didn't write songs. Songs came after. He never would have imagined this life for himself.
Yeah.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
John Cougar Mellencamp.
Well, he's not Cougar anymore.
John Mellencamp.
He got rid of the Cougar.
You don't say the Cougar anymore?
No, I think it's just a phase.
Yeah.
He had the Cougar phase.
Is that like a label thing?
I don't know.
He was like big with Mellencamp, right? Or no, where was he?
Maybe he started with John Cougar Mellencamp and then became John Mellencamp.
Yeah.
But hey, whatever.
Yeah.
Jack and Diane, baby.
Little pink houses for you and me.
Yeah. But no, but it is interesting because you do, when you hear sort of like the stories of some of these big names that came out, like again, even Dave Carter tells a story about like how when he was down in Virginia, like, and Carter was playing with all sorts of different bands, like he was like at this bar, this club, and like Dave would come and he'd just like playing his guitar and like Dave, and then he said, he asked Carter to play with them on a couple of songs, and Carter's like, wow, this guy's got something, it's really something, but it's just like can you imagine, Dave growing up in like South Africa? Like this is like he thought he was gonna come back, come back to the States, and this is what he was gonna. Yeah. This is what he was gonna do. I mean,
crazy.
It is.
Yeah, by the way, Carter's 70, I think. Pushing it?
No.
He's older than you think.
Yeah, I mean, I bet he's in his 60s.
I'm going to the Google.
Yeah, because Dave's 55 at this point.
Well, because I remember always saying, am I wrong? All right, 65.
65, yeah. Close enough, yeah.
But for me, that's the scary one because I think the band I can't picture the band losing Carter.
Yeah, I can't.
There's already been so many losses that it gets to the point of like, this is kind of no longer the Dave Matthews Band.
Well, exactly. I mean, I think the two of them, they just have that. Yeah. They've had that, and they've been together the longest.
And the joy that they play with.
Yeah, exactly. Now, if they replaced the five, I'd be fine about that.
That's the bass.
That's the bass. I don't know. I find him boring.
Interesting.
But again, he's also been.
He's active on social. You better be careful.
I know, right? He's gonna be on there. But again, this is all he knows. He joined the band at 16 years old.
Yeah.
16. Can you imagine at 16 years old and then 30 plus years later, God. Still doing it? Like, come on.
Talk about just life falling.
Seriously.
You're gonna be like almost watching life happen to you at that point, right?
I know. Well, and I think that that's part of like the social awkwardness that he has because he was thrown into it at such like a awkward time of life, sophomore, junior in high school, and was like, hey, come, tour the country with us.
Sneak into this bar with these adults and play music.
Yeah, right. Because Dave's gonna be pushing 62. Because I think he was born in the late 60s. So.
Yeah, I always had like an almost 10 years separation between Carter and Dave, so Dave would be pushing 60.
Yeah, so it's just like, I agree. Without Carter, it's not the same.
They probably do the Dave Matthews, Tim Reynolds thing, and Friends maybe for several years afterwards. But
well, Tim's not looking too young either these days.
He brought his little trio to was it Portsmouth around here or something?
Did he?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, a few months ago.
How did I miss that?
Yeah, I almost missed it too.
Where did he play?
Jazz club, I want to say.
God dang. Okay, so what you're telling me is that I could get him. Got it. Nailed. If he's playing Jimmy's, I can get him down here.
There you go.
Right.
Yeah, it was. You know what I noticed about that night? Somebody filmed him. Somebody did the whole. I've heard people do it at Dave shows my whole life. Timmy. Apparently, he doesn't like that.
Yeah, why would he?
Yeah, I know, right? It's kind of obvious.
Yeah.
but he actually kind of stopped and addressed it in the small club though, and he was like, "Hey, it's Tim. Who wants to be called Timmy?
Yeah, right.
Who likes Timmy?" And I thought it was interesting to hear. I'll never hear Timmy the same way anymore.
South Park.
Yeah, I'm not a South Park fan, but that's a part of it, obviously.
I believe that is what it is.
Yeah. Okay. Learning something new every day. That makes sense.
Yeah.
People want tickets to the Firehouse Center for the Arts. You ran through the whole schedule, and there's a lot of great stuff. Where do they go, my friend?
Firehouse.org. That's it. That's it. Yeah, just firehouse.org. Super simple.
You said it with the upwards tone.
Yeah, nope.
There might be
firehouse.org. I'm just really excited about it.
We needed like an organ from the garden.
Oh, God. Yeah, right. I'll try and get Ron Poster to come do it for us.
Beautiful.
No, it's baseball. Never mind.
Made power, produced, and Sarah Aiden, the boss, Maya Gaspin, Ryan Rothberg, our small but mighty team in Newburyport. We appreciate you all very much. This has been another edition of Live at Drew's House. Thank you to the great John Moynihan, Firehouse Center for the Arts. Go see some shows. All of us around here do it because they're just amazing over there. Fun shows and good people at the staff.
Oh, look at you, so kind. Thank you to the great Drew Moholland for once again inviting me on to the show.
Once a month. We're making it happen.
Can't wait to the next one where I'm going to have 92 other things to talk about.
It's a pleasure. I think we should end the show by you doing the Firehouse.org again, and then we take it right to break.
All right. Firehouse.org.
Where do you get the tickets? Where do you get the tickets, my friend?
Firehouse.org.